from this basic to this stylish personal. Something that you will carry around knowing this is the work of my hands. Hey guys, so today I am coming with a DIY. I have not done a DIY in the longest time, except from the African map that I did in my previous video, which is great for African Day activity or gifting somebody that is very close to you. So African Day is tomorrow, so happy African Day, because I post on Wednesdays, not on Thursdays. So wishing you happy African Day in advance. So yeah, we are doing this hand fan today. I do love to get creative. It's time consuming, but I made some time for you guys. So in this video, you won't need much, but you will definitely need material. I didn't buy this material on Amazon, but I'll link where you can get similar materials on Amazon. Let's get into this video because it's getting hot in here. So the first thing, you will need an African print material. The bigger the fan, the more material you will need. You need a sharp pair of scissors for cutting. You also need craft glue. You will need a toothbrush, like in my case, or just a brush to, brush away the glue. You need a handgun, and definitely you will need glue sticks to use in the handgun. And finally, you will need a hand fan. You can get this on Amazon, or these can actually be found on Amazon. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start gluing the top side of the fan. And here I'm coming in with my craft glue. I think I got this from IKEA. I don't know exactly where it's from. I'll double check, but you can get something similar on Amazon. And because I don't have a brush, I used an old toothbrush just to spread out the glue and evenly distribute it on the fan. When you are gluing the fan, when you're putting glue on the fan, make sure that it's flat out, because you want to make sure that the glue gets on all the parts of the hand fan, and that when you put the cloth on top, you don't have any bumps. It just looks straight. Mind you, this hand fan was pleated, and now we're putting a different material on top, so we'll make sure it's straight as possible. And then you will come in with the material. This material was cut out from a bigger material that I need to do an outfit with. So if you have like a big material that you just want to use a little bit for any crafts that you have, make sure you cut the very end of the material, or you end up missing the material if you cut it anyhow. But you can find like small pieces of material on Amazon. You don't have to go ahead and buy like heavy material like that comes in 4 meters or 6 yards. So once I have put glue on the fan, I did the glue bits by bits. I then put the material on top of the fan. Make sure that the material is covering the whole fan, so that you don't have to do any cutting until the end. Make sure, please make sure that the material is covering the whole fan completely. So I go in gluing only the material, the pleated parts of the fan, and then stick the material on top. Make sure you don't glue any of the wooden part of the fan. The little sticks, don't glue those. Only glue the sticks at the end on the top side of the fan. I hope that makes sense. I went in with my hand to make sure that everything is properly glued and is straight, right? But if you've got something like, if you've got like delicate hands, then you might want to come in with maybe the bottom bit of your brush or a stick, but I use my hand. And then I turn the fan the other way around to glue the behind. This is the behind of the fan, and because I didn't cut the material to the very end, I made sure that the leftover material met in the middle, so that it was even pattern. Because if I went one side all the way, you'd have the leftover bits, like the black and white printed side covering behind of the fan. So I made sure that the pattern was similar on the behind as well. It's like two materials coming together. So when you look at the end, when you see the fan, the front has got like a slightly different pattern, and then at the back has a
different pattern, but they're all uniform, like as you can see here. So after gluing everything, I then cut out all the excess of the fun. This is a bit where the fan has not completely dried, but I'm just trying to finalize everything. Then I go in to cut the circumference, the bit that has got the wooden sticks. As you can see here, I have to carefully do it. I'm not the best at cutting out shapes, so I have a little bit of excess material left. But you might be an expert and, cut this bit very carefully and beautifully. Well done, kudos to you. But because I'm not the best, I had to tuck in the excess material around this area and tuck it in. I'll show you later on me gluing it to make sure that it stays in place. You just take your time, make sure that everything that's hanging out is cut off. Any excess that will hang out or that will make it bumpy when you glue, cut it off. Cut it off, because we don't really need that. As you can see, the material that I'm using, like on the table, has got some glue onto it. This glue is perfect for art and craft, so you don't have to worry. But if you are a bit cautious about the material you're using, just make sure you use the cardboard underneath and something maybe you can dispose of. And then I've cut off the excess at the top now, and now we're going to glue the middle, like where the two ends of the material meet. So this is the back of the fan. Make sure that this is the back of the fan, not the front. And this is like the material that you don't want showing all the time. So I go on with a glue gun to glue it, because this is more permanent and it's quicker to dry. I went in with the glue gun. I want to diversify between the craft glue and the glue gun. I then also came in with the glue gun on the ends of the fan, where you've got the thick wooden stick. I guess you could call it stick. I came in with the glue gun as well. I just made sure that I folded the material and tucked it in, and it looks a bit more presentable. And then I went in around the half circle where the wooden sticks are. I don't know if that's what we can call them. I went in with a glue gun to glue in the bits that I folded in. I felt like the glue gun was more secure to nip in the ends than using the glue. And then the final bit is that I glued the ends of the top bit of the fan. So the excess material, I glued all that together. I didn't want to use the glue gun because I felt like that would make it a bit thick, so I wanted it as thin as possible. So I glued the remaining ends, like the excess material, at the top of the fan, and then I came in with a pair of scissors and cut off the excess, because the glue had secured, and all I did was cut off whatever was remaining. I had to cut it very close to the fan, also making sure that I wasn't cutting the fan, just the material only. And this is why it's important to have a very sharp pair of scissors, because you want to have a first attempt. You want to cut the first time and the material is cut, and not having to try cutting the material several times.
So as you guys can see, this is the finished product. And what I did at the end was that once the cloth from this side and this side came together, I glued them and then just cut it off. So the finishing here is actually the meeting of the two cloths. I didn't fold anything into it. Although here I did fold off the ends and then glued them in with the glue gun instead of the normal glue. I felt like doing it with the glue gun throughout the hand fan would make it a bit bumpy, and so I decided to use the glue over here and then the glue gun to tuck in the loose ends. And I also used the glue gun to tuck in the loose ends on this side and that side. And this is it. Well, this could be used during the summertime as a fun, obviously. Unfortunately, because the material is thicker now as compared to the original fan, I can't really fold it. It's gonna get messed up because the material is thick. So this is just how it's gonna be. Alternatively, you can use this as a decoration. You can put it in your house, or you can hang it somewhere, or by the wall. definitely do well by the wall. Yeah, so I really like this. It's so cute. I hope you guys found this helpful. I hope I've given you some inspiration on some African print DIY art and craft. I hope you can make this with your family and friends, you know, during this month of May or whenever. It doesn't always have to be May when you're celebrating Africa. And yeah, I've linked everything that I've used in this video in the description below. Most of the items can be found on Amazon, so make sure to check them out. I will see you in my next video. Bye.